Oh yes, I'm sitting on the side today. This hasn't happened in a long time. When did I sit over here? I think when we went to California together.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know if I drove back then. That was like last summer.
Did I even let you drive?
No, actually.
Oh man, then it was Montana.
Yeah, Montana.
When you almost ran into that car.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Oh yeah, he remembers. Why am I sitting here? Well, my wife made me some draniki. In Russian, it's draniki.
Potato pancakes.
In English, I guess you can call them, I guess you guys have a different word for them, potato pancakes. If you haven't tried them, you got to. But potato pancakes with sour cream, in our language, in our foreign, it's called draniki. So I'm eating draniki, he's driving. Why is he driving? Well, he found something that he wants to get in Pasco or Kennewick, whatever, Tri-Cities area, 2 hours away. So we're driving there, and if he buys it, then he's going home, and I keep going to Eagle, Idaho. Eagle, Idaho, I gotta do a medical pickup, and then it delivers Monday to Portland. So I'll be doing that pickup, coming home for the weekend, and then for Monday I'll be delivering to Portland, Oregon, and then coming home. And all these miles are actually paid for as a round trip for me from home to Eagle, Idaho, which is like 430, 450 miles. Loaded miles to Portland, loaded miles, miles to Spokane, then to Portland, and Portland to Spokane again. So all that is included, which is super nice that happened. I'll show you guys if he decides to get something. I'll kind of give you guys a little glimpse of it, but you guys will see. Well, now I'm driving all by myself, and the person who was behind the wheel before me is right in front of me now. That's what he was out here doing with me. Well, you guys can't see me, but got 300 something miles to my pickup. We're gonna go, he's gonna go fill up and go home. Me, I'm gonna keep on trucking to Boise area. Eagle, Idaho is waiting. And my stuff got switched up a bit. I actually have now not a Monday delivery to Portland, but I've got I think it's Sunny something, Washington. Anyway, it's going to be a residential delivery now. So I'll tell you guys all about that tomorrow. So 204 miles left, but just a little bit ago, I ran into a sign that said crash ahead, freeway closed, 12 miles. 12 miles ahead, crash, freeway closed. So we're going to be dealing with that here shortly. I think we're coming up. I had already 2 police officers pass with their lights on, flying like crazy that way. So God, I hope that people survived, and you know, it sucks, you know what I mean? Every time I drive by a crash, I always, you know, I always pray for those that, you know, hopefully them and their families and their loved ones are okay. But it is what it is. I figured I was gonna, at first I was thinking about actually pulling over earlier and just waiting it out and see when it's gonna open back up. But why does it matter where I'm gonna stand? Right on the freeway or at the gas station or at this viewpoint coming up? I mean, it really doesn't matter if I stop on the freeway and just wait it out. You know, I guess you could take a nap and then wake up and see what happens, but if you're gonna do that, might as well just pull over to the, you know, shoulder and wait right on the shoulder versus standing on the freeway. But it's not that late yet. It's just 8:40 right now. So, you know, I'm just praying in my mind that, you know, the people are okay, whoever's in that crash. Well, they weren't lying, so we're standing just literally probably a mile from when I spoke to you guys. Everything stands still. On that side, coming westbound, is actually moving here and there. Like you see a semi-truck drive by, and then a long time comes by, and then another one. So something super serious happened up there, and this is the Dead Man Pass, you know, in the pass. So there's really nothing out here, and probably hard to get help out here. So my prayers with those guys. We started moving. I guess these two guys were sleeping or something here, so I'm not sure. But we're going now, hopefully. Guys, I don't even know what happened over there. From the looks of it, that semi rear-ended somebody, a car or a truck, or I don't know, so many parts were there. I don't know what happened. He fell asleep, or geez Louise, I don't even know. Anyways, it looked like it looked like that semi burned. So yeah, you guys got to be careful on the road. Drivers, please pay attention to everything. You know, don't drive fatigued. I'm in that Boise area, filling up. And I suggest you guys do the same thing. Before your pickup or before your delivery, if you're driving by a gas station, might as well fill up. That way you're not wasting time the next day, either getting to your pickup or right after pickup when you're in a rush. That's my suggestion. That's how I do it. That way I'm ready to roll. Or if you've already unloaded and you're gonna go park somewhere to go to sleep, might as well top off. That way you're ready to go. Unless you're already at half a tank or something like that, then that's understandable. But if you guys are, you know, needing to go fill up, I hear a lot of it, you know, we're like, hey, on site, and the driver's got to go fill up before his pickup. How can you not have filled up or not have filled up all weekend? You know, sometimes there's that too. Doesn't make sense to me, but maybe you guys can explain it to me. What has driver been doing for a day, half a day, all weekend? All of a sudden on a Monday you get them a load and they got to go fill up because and they're running behind. Doesn't make any sense. Good morning, day of loading. Already got one. Second one's coming, then we're going to be loading this up. This is how it's strapped in. I got the cart on the bottom. The cart came with all this stuff. They were making sure that it does. And I know who I'm taking it to, so he needs his cart. I let people one time in Salt Lake keep his cart because they said that was theirs. And at delivery, he asked me, where's my cart? And I said, well, they told me that was theirs. So anyway, now they're making sure that whenever they come with carts, some of the particulars, it comes with a little dolly. So 2 straps on this, that way it's not going anywhere, it's solid. 1 strap on that, that one's solid as is. And we're on the way. So I've told you guys already that they changed my stuff up. They changed, so the delivery is actually direct now. We asked for that instead of Monday. And then we also they also changed the fact that it's not going to be this whole round trip. So basically I was coming from Spokane, going to Eagle to pick it up, then driving all the way to Eagle, Idaho, grabbing it, going home for the weekend, and then after that driving to Portland, and after Portland drop off, coming back to Spokane. So that's not happening anymore, just so you guys know. Not happening. I am delivering to a guy's house now, and then it's direct, so everything got changed up, and it's even better for me. So that's how it is. On my way to go print paperwork. If you guys ever need to print paperwork, make notes. You guys need to go to, well, you don't need to, but I always do, Staples or Office Depot. It's always usually along the way, somewhere nearby. Doesn't have to be like right there where you load. You can look at, you know, the towns you're going to be going through, or states and cities and all that, and just stop by and get it, because it only costs 15 cents. I know printers these days, they're not that expensive anymore either, but we've had drivers who had printers, then their ink dries up, or during the whole rattling and all that, when they drive, you know, something happens with their printer, it doesn't work anymore. Then it gets jammed. Other times the ink leaks somehow, so they can't print anything, and then they end up just throwing money away. I'm not saying that that's how it is with every single driver. I'm just giving you instances to what happens. So me investing into a printer, I would invest maybe if I was, you know, always over the road for 2 to 3 weeks nonstop, or a month at a time, and I, you know, was doing these constantly, then yes, I would definitely invest into a printer, because it's way more convenient in the end. But a guy like me, I know where I'm picking up usually this area. I know exactly where the stores are, and I know that I can stop by a hotel motel and ask them to print it for me as well. So it's never been a problem to print paperwork, ever, for me. Some people think it's hard, it's difficult, things are closed. Well, Walgreens is open. A lot of them are still open 24/7. A lot of them are open late. A lot of those copy centers are still open really, really early before your pickup or deliveries. So there's lots of things where you can do to get your paperwork, and there's really no excuse not to be able to get it and have it, you know, in time or on hand. I know that sometimes you're dealing with traffic, airport pickups, other kind of pickups, not these medical ones. So I get it, you know, sometimes, yeah, he'll set you back a little bit, but when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, there's usually always time, and, you know, everybody always understands that, hey, you know, driver still has to get paperwork somewhere. So enough yapping, I'm on my way. That way I can, you know, get it there ASAP and still get home in the evening today. I'm having to use my heater more and more often. Had to use it today. When I got here, it was like 43 degrees. 43 when, you know, when you're driving and it's warm and it's going back there, things are warm, insulation's warm, your bed is warm. When you lay down, it feels okay. But straight after just, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, everything cools down and you're going to be cold. So I don't even bother with all that. I just turn my heater on and I'm warm. So I don't know how you guys, the ones that do drive without the heater, I don't know how you guys do it. I think I have to do another separate video for you to show you which one to buy on Amazon. If it's either a gas vehicle, then you'll buy one kind with the tank. That way you can fill that up. If it's a diesel vehicle, then you need to tap into your tank. Usually on the Sprinters, it's like right where the fill hole is on the bottom. There's a leader hose coming out of the tank. You just tap into that, then it'll suck fuel straight out of that. So on the Sprinters is good. I don't know about the diesel ProMasters, and I'm not sure about the Ford Transits. I don't know if they have leader hoses coming out. The only way you would know is you got to get in under the van itself and check where you fill up. Bless me, thank you. check under there, see if there's a leader that's tapped off with the tapper. See if there's one coming out of there, a short little hose. Then that means yes, you do have it. They do sell gas heaters like this, but they're like, my cousin got one. I think it was almost $3,000 that he paid for it. That's way too much. I'll take $150 to $200 on Amazon. That's what I paid. I think it was like $140 or something like that plus tax, free delivery. I could get 2 of those and still be, you know, within that $300 range, and it will last me a lifetime of the van, because there's really nothing going wrong with them. I've always had a Chinese one in three different vans already. I replaced one last year, but it wasn't even, I shouldn't have even replaced it. I know exactly, I figured out later what the problem was, but there was a problem as far as like my hoses had holes in them and cracked. So that's what was causing, the suction wasn't great, so that's what the issue was. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Insulate your van, that way you're more comfortable in the summertime, and that way you're really comfortable in the wintertime. You have to insulate it. That's the number one thing. Gets rid of the noise. You're comfortable in it. It doesn't, you know, it keeps the warmth or the cold in there. So it has to be done. That's the number one thing. I didn't even leave the house with any van until I actually did that. Blue van, that one wasn't on the channel. Silver van, that thing was, I insulated that thing too, but it had windows throughout, so it was kind of one of those. But definitely had a heater. I mean, it had the windows, but then it had all the, what do you call it, factory liners and everything everywhere. That has a little bit into it, so I didn't bother to get in, you know, in between that and do that. I knew that van wasn't going to last me long. It had high mileage already, so I knew that I would get to maybe 300,000 and get rid of it. That's usually what I do. So this one's coming up to that 300,000, guys. So I don't know. This one might be going up for sale soon. We'll see. That right there is how people are resting, either before tarping or after untarping. I'm not sure. You guys see that driver? Pretty funny. Just so you guys know, this Arrowhead off of I-84 on the way from Deadman Pass to Portland or Seattle. Bless me, off of 84. It's got the cheapest fuel, so it's $1 off, even though I'm not empty, but I do need to print paperwork, so I'll go inside, see if this place has it. And hey, $1 off 10 gallons. I am gonna be very grateful either way still, because it gets me $1 off. That's $10 less in fuel. So nothing to complain about there. But anywhere else in Washington, yeah, I drove through Ritzville, Washington yesterday, and it was 609 over there, actually, 609. So there's no way. I'll take the 4. No, now one thing said 440, this one says 485. Either way, it's $1 less than anywhere else in Washington, so I'll take that. There's no way I want to pay over $6 a gallon right now. No, not when I can get away with getting it here. So at my last place I stopped by where I filled up, I did not get paperwork there. They were having email issues, or I was having issues emailing, I don't know. But 604 in Prosser, Washington now. I'm just about 13 miles away from my delivery. 604, and I filled up for 485. Do you guys see the difference? Well, some news have happened since I've last turned myself on here. Medical load got delivered to the residence. Everything's good with that. Everything's fine. There's the person who received it said that they canceled 2 of his jobs, so now he's like 2 weeks. He's got a 2-week vacation, they told him, which is good for him, I guess. Another one of our drivers got redirected. He was also supposed to be in Portland tomorrow, and mine was originally going to Portland. Then he got redirected to him because his job got canceled. 2 of his jobs got canceled, and maybe our other drivers that's actually got redirected to LA now, maybe his was one of his jobs as well that got canceled. So anyways, they call it, it's not a canceled job, it's postponed, he said. They got postponed until unknown date so far, but at least for 2 weeks. So that's what we're dealing with.